What up? What up? What up, man? You know what it is, man. We back with another episode of Just My Damn Opinion. You know they like assholes. Everybody got one. I got one too. I got my boy as usual, my road dog here in the building. What up, Pop? What up? What up? What up?
What's going on, my brother from another mother? How you been doing, man?
Hey man, Poe man just trying to make it, dog. That's about all I can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know. You already know. Here for another good week, man. Another good week, baby. Let's get it in.
Yeah, man. So before we get into anything in it, gospel, whatever, we're gonna chop it up and talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know what I'm saying, what I did, I always had me one, pour me one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get the little theme music going. So we're gonna play a track, have a drink a little bit, just get the vibe right, you know what I'm saying? Get in the zone a little bit.
A
You know
little
what I'm saying?
track from way back. You know what I'm saying? So y'all sit back and relax. You know, we're gonna put you in
Yeah,
the days. We're gonna put you in the mind with a little bit of this 8 ball and MJG. We're going with this space age. Hit them with it, child. Hit them, shout.
yeah, man. Little space age pimping, man. I hope y'all appreciate this, man. If you ain't never heard this track before, man, it's definitely something you need to put in your playlist.
I want you. I got to have you. But what will this lead to? Will it just be me and you? Tell me. You know I want you. Tell me how you feel.
I'll be your flies if you step outside because my ride is awaited. I dated, a staking, a nightcap, we made it. Awakened by smells of perfume that I inhale and then tell how well we raise hell on the Denzel. Satin sheets, eat from your feet, keep me warm. The movement is perfected with the sound from the storm. You came stronger, I lasted longer than I've ever lasted. Your mouth was fantastic, the fuck test you passed it. The way you made a nigga laugh, I had to get you. And when I saw that ass pass, I had to hit you. You're making me fight against my will. What must I do?
Would you feel for me?
Yeah, if my life in danger too.
It's still for me?
Yeah, if that shit belongs to you.
Then feel for me.
Yeah, the way you act is true. Cool nose, fine clothes. Lexus O's, you be clothes. And when you become one of the chosen, hoes in different places, different faces, different cases. Got me tied like shoelaces. No mistake, just MJG, you ain't gotta be constantly trying to shoot that beat. Claiming that you ain't heard of me, keeping it real. Let me know how you feel when we communicate. We'll be straight if you express your mind instead of preferring to wait. Some who can't do it, lose women. But nigga like me used to it. Space age pimp.
Every once in a while, this is how we play the game. It's too strong. In it out is only straight to do. Just
You and I, me and you, situation getting sticky. Your mouth is saying no, but your body saying stick me, lick me. Don't be afraid of what your friends say. Rappers get that ass, then be out of here like yesterday. But not tonight, you look so tight, it feels so right. This endo got me purring, let's go hop in my Suburban and ride till we get to where you wanna be, no matter how far. Just call me ball, baby, to me, you're the superstar. Ask me time and time again, why did I choose you? Do I wanna be your man or just misuse you? I hear your partner pissing when they think I ain't listening. Them hoes just be wishing they could be in your position. With me in luxury, I got to be every day. Cheap and hay with something stout, wearing lingerie. Let's hit the tail, get a sweet and order something to eat. Tell me things about you, tell you things about me. Then out the blue, I'll be caressing you, undressing you. You start doing all that shit you said you'll never do. Lusting, busting, all out of my boxer drawers. Fingers dripping, slipping in and out and in and out. Constantly telling me the things you don't do. Yet you do it like a pro and think that I don't know. But I do, that's why I'm here with you and you know this. Slip on the latex and dive in. Swish.
every once in a while, play the game. It's strong.
Who that want to sing that little piece there, man?
It's too strong. Hey, hey, please baby, don't silly.
Don't do that. Don't do
Do
that.
that.
You know I want you, you know I gotta have you.
Yeah, I know, but what I got.
Yeah, I
Oh boy,
want you,
nigga to
please
leave.
come back to me.
Don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that.
you, don't you, don't you
I
leave.
got to go. I got to go. I think I'm going to stay.
Man,
Yes,
shout
sir.
out to the vocals, man. God,
Goddamn
dude,
Suave House, baby.
come on, man. Woof.
That bring back memories every time, man. Shout out to that boy Dirty Ward too, man. That used to be his. Hey, that was his jam too, man.
Man, that's a hell of
Yes,
a
sir.
track. Yeah, shout out to Duddy. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
sir.
Yeah, I think that China singing that though.
Really?
Yeah.
Like tiny, tiny, Ti tiny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I really think that her. I have to look it up just to make sure, but I'm almost think that's
Yes,
her.
yeah. She put down on that little piece. That.
hmm Hell of a track, man. Hell of a track.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, man. If
Classic,
you ain't never heard
classic.
that track, man, that need to go on your playlist. You know what I'm saying? It always has spot in my rotation.
Yeah, that's our classic banger of the week, man. We're gonna have one of them classic bangers for y'all every week, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? If you're watching, man, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, or you can hit the like button too, or even if you dislike, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Float your boat, you know what I'm saying? Hit them things, man. Hit them things.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man, main thing I kind of want to talk about, man, you know what I'm saying? We can always just chop it up about whatever, man, but I know you did. I don't even have to ask, man, but what's going on with Georgia? Like, what's up with UGA? Like, we undefeated, you know what I'm saying? So, brother just
Start
being,
kind
you know
of
what I'm saying,
slow.
nitpicky.
We back into our old mode, old Georgia again.
What
I
you
was
mean?
like, oh, here we go with them first drive touchdowns, and we're giving up too many passing yards in the secondary, man. Like shit, we gave up over 200 yards. I think maybe 201 to be exact. I mean, we're giving up too much in the air. Shit, the ground, shit. 18 yards. The boys had 18 yards on the ground. So I mean, secondary should have been like no pass zone the whole day. Like shit, it's supposed to have been like 57-0.
You
You
so
know,
I
we
mean,
only had.
do you think Bandit was maybe better than you thought?
I would say they came out on they caught us slipping. But everybody's if you notice, every team's starting to get a little better. You know, with some transfers here and there, guys starting to step the games up. But that was just like shit. That was like typical Georgia coming back out again, like starting slow, sluggish. You know what I'm saying? So, but we picked it up a little bit. But shit, man, we only had one sack and one interception, and that was in the first half. So shit, if you only getting one sack and one interception, and that was just in the first half. So yeah, they figured it like, okay, if we would have passed it in the first half more than what we did in the second half, what probably would have happened. So we just need to tighten it up again. That would have been our weakness a few years ago anyway, our secondary, but we're gonna get a little tighter.
So what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, that's why I kind of put in the description about playing with our food. I'm just so why are we not, you know, beating teams that we like? We know we're winning the games, but why are we not beating teams like we should be beating teams if we are that much better? Like Are they just not getting up for the game?
pretty much. They up, but they not.
Shout out to DJ too, man. Pop just came in the comments. I see you. Shout out to you, man. He said they
Okay.
just getting in their rhythm. Well, that's what I thought about the Kentucky week. I thought we had got in rhythm Kentucky week, and it seemed like we, regressed a little bit. If I don't want to say regress, but
You know,
no, I
one
don't want
thing
to
we
say the
can't
word
we can't
regress.
play teams like Michigan, Ohio State like that. Those teams or Oklahoma. We can't play those teams shabby at the beginning like how we play how we been starting off. Cause they'll mess around here. We'll be down shit 21-0 before you know it.
Well, I'm
I
thinking
think if we get down
I'm
by
not
that
even.
much, we won't claw back. I don't think they can claw back with that, especially right now with the injuries that's going on with our team. And man,
So that's part of it. We definitely have I think 5 starters out on offense, 6 on defense, or vice versa at one particular point. So we're definitely not as healthy as we
yeah,
could be. Uh, but I'm gonna say this right here. Why would I guess I'm going back to the same thing. I mean, why would we not come in and just handle Vandy after the throttle we gave Kentucky?
that's what I'm
You know what
saying.
I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even thinking as far as going towards Oklahoma and teams like that. You got to make the playoffs to do that. There's teams on our schedule right now that we can't get behind.
Yeah, we would have been stomping them boys out the rip.
How Tennessee can score and Ole Miss can score. You don't want to get behind on those teams.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to have to claw back, especially with the weapons we got that's gone. You don't want to have to claw back. You better stay on their head and stay on it till the game over with.
So that go back to my question I kind of asked earlier. So do you think we're just not as good then maybe?
I wouldn't say that. I say we're being exposed in some areas that Kirby them probably tried to hide. And eventually, they probably would have got exposed. But every once in the blue, you'll see a little blue area where people be like, okay, they back on that same shit again. They weak in the secondary again. Oh, okay, D line is not as aggressive as the past 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to make up where a lot of guys is already gone on and moved on to their professional careers. They're trying to add and put more younger guys back in those spots. They got to groom.
Well, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm clearly a Georgia fan. Georgia third on two. I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. But why would that be an excuse with the way that Georgia recruits and have shown to recruit and also develop players? Why would that be an issue?
Mm. I think it's not an excuse. It ain't no excuse because I'm gonna tell you another thing what it could be too, bro. I feel like on the personals on the opponent, since we so everybody want us right now, like how everybody wanted Bama during those times. It seemed like that's when we get your best football. Regardless of how this team played or what we watched on film a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it's not the same Kentucky team or the same Vandy team or the same whoever we playing that's coming in the next week or two until they see us. When it's time to play Georgia, if they healthy, them boys be amped, hype. They just like, ooh, who's gonna be the first one to try to knock us off the throne? Just beat us by a field goal or 2 points or something, a soccer score. They live for that until the pass get to popping. It's gonna be a whole nother story.
Uh,
But Georgia, like I said before, bro, we have a tendency of playing to the level of our opponent for some odd reason.
and so and okay, I would say, and I think that's a great point too, because that's something that we had brought up for years. It's this phone. That's something that we had brought up for years about how we would hear that.
But you got some echo going on.
It just sounded like some data or some transfer, and I thought it was my other phone. I was trying to reply to something. I thought it was my other phone interfering with current. But we would say that about that in the past. We would talk about how you know we kind of would play down to our level of competition. But until last year, we throttled everybody except maybe like two teams, Missouri and something. But we throttled everybody last year at 15 and 0 year. So maybe let me ask you this: do you think it's maybe we've just maybe gotten as Georgia fans gotten a little spoiled, especially coming off that 15 and 0 season where I just literally said we throttled everybody. I mean, I'm talking about we throttled. Like we were putting up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So you think maybe we just maybe spoiled? We don't got a little bougie here.
I ain't gonna say bougie, but we definitely learning how to handle what's going on in this atmosphere. We need to take some notes from the Bama fans and ask them a few questions on the side to see how they handled it. You know, but shoot, hey man, some people lifetime this the best that they ever seen Georgia. They finna ride this all the way. They gonna ride it out. They don't care. They gonna ride it all the way out.
Why not? For these, I mean, this is literally the glory. I
Is
mean,
it
for real.
is
These are the
glory?
glory. These are the glory years. Yeah,
Yeah.
we living in the glory years. Like you know how they used to talk about like '80s when they won with Herschel over the glory. Like this is a little different. And we back to back going for a third.
But it's amazing though, cause even though through all those years, like Georgia name always been in the air, like for something. Like you gonna hear Georgia name for something. I don't care what it is, the best backs, best whatever coming up. You gonna hear, even if we was up in the runnings and then just so happened we started, or we may take a fall or a loss or two. Now we back. We got to go down. But shoot, man, Georgia always been the talk. Like what they gonna do this year? We won 10 games this year. Okay, they gonna come back this year. What they gonna do this year? There'll always be some game in between. Somebody beat us, we'll go down, we'll have a little two-loss season or whatever. Then, it is what it is. Like you
DJ, what
said,
you think the issue is? And I'm listening to you, Pot.
what the issue is with what?
I was just asking him one of my partner what the issue is, just in terms of what I'm saying, why are we maybe what I'm saying, why are we playing with our food, or maybe are we not just maybe as good as we think we are, or maybe we just expect too much because of what we've done in the past. There is a lot more parity in college football this year too.
Yeah. They just
Or
need to
maybe it's
get
a
it
little
together, man.
combination of
That's
everything.
about it, man. Like mentally you got to stay focused every week. I know it's a lot of them guys they go into class and practice, weights, getting up all times of the morning, having to stay up late sometimes in certain instances, but at the same time, shit, a job you're doing a job on top of a job. That's being a student athlete. Then you got to take care of your financial situation, what's going on off campus. Take care of your personals off campus. Try not to be in trouble off campus. Don't have a heavy feet. Don't Let's not get in trouble. Let's not go to jail. So see, right now we're doing good. We shooting. We batting 1,000 right now. We are. We keeping the little puppies out of trouble so far.
Well, I think he kind of, well, what I'm saying, DJ saying he's saying that in his opinion, he think it's a combination. They're not as focused as much. Uh, well, to that point, I mean, you got sophomores, freshmen who ain't never lost a game.
And they up
You know what
here.
I'm saying?
They up here like what?
They don't even know what it is to lose.
Hmm.
And you got juniors in 3 years ain't lost but one game.
And Lord forbid if they came from a nice high school program where they ain't lost nothing and shit since they was like freshmen and got 2 or 3 rings themselves in high school. Then it led over to this college. Oh man, them boys
I
high.
mean, it is hard to keep, you know what I'm saying, young kids especially, uh, focused. It's hard to keep them motivated. And you know what I'm saying? If you had a chance to see some of Kirby's halftime speech, you'll see what kind of motivational speaker he is. It's hard to get up for every game. And you getting everybody their shot. Oh, everybody want to beat you. If nobody else, they want to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like we've been living rent free in Michigan and Ohio State fans in their mind. We've been living rent free. Like, bro, I don't even know they want to win a national championship. They just want a chance to play us again in the playoff just to beat them. Michigan and Ohio State.
They want it. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, too man, not to shift gears and get back on Georgia too, man. If this is true, I hope it's true, man. You just never know so much stuff come out. Shout out to Michael Irvin, man. They say the man won his settlement against Marriott.
Oh,
They
oh,
settled out. Yeah.
okay. Big
They
Herb, Big Herb.
I saw, I'm not saying it's fact, but the article that I read said it was for 25.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and he got his job back. Back on TV and everything.
And I'm sure he could possibly probably sue them too. So, I don't know if you can call it wrong termination because you know what I'm saying, they let the man go before anything came out.
But shoot, that's probably what was off in that settlement a little bit. Some of that salary that I had to miss out on dealing with y'all. They probably gave him
That,
something else up under the table too, and gave him his
that,
job back.
that was straight. No, that was from Marriott, from the hotel. That wasn't from ESPN.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, they probably did something else up under the table when he got his job back that they ain't never, what I'm saying, probably didn't disclose that to the public or something.
Who you talking about did something on the table?
Mike Irvin got his job back with the football network.
Who you talking about Fox?
Mike Irvin. He'd be
No,
on
I'm
there
talking
with
about.
like Kurt Warner and them.
So you talking about the NFL then?
Yeah, yeah, he got his job back. He was on
Yeah,
TV just last season.
well, Michael Irvin on a couple shows. He on Fox too
Oh
with
yeah,
the FS.
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I was asking you
boy,
who, cause
Irvin.
he Irvin on a couple
see,
shows.
see, hey, when it's meant for you, hey, it's gonna come. They tried to shit on my boy, but he need the tissue to wipe something.
Huh?
I said they tried to shit on him. Now he need the tissue to wipe something because he getting that bread. He shitting on them now.
Yeah, I mean, Irvin's straight. I think it's just more about him being clear. His name was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I
his
would
name
doubt
was
that
trying to make him look bad. Yeah. Plus,
I would
over the
doubt
years,
if
anyway, how Mike was in stuff over the years when we were growing up. So reputation.
right. I would doubt he even go after the networks. To be honest, he may, but I doubt.
I don't think so. If he's sitting back up in front of the camera.
It. So I don't know, but yeah, if that's the truth though, then I'm glad it worked out for her. Like they don't have enough in the past going on. So yeah, man, women, sometimes that's why you have to be careful. Good. The cameras caught it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, Marriott, whatever happened, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? That one
Hmm.
get the angle out.
Man, you see,
Man, but
uh,
it's
you see those NBA boys the big dogs trying to step up now. So they're thinking about
What you
playing in
talking,
2024.
what you talking about?
The NBA guys now they're thinking about
Oh,
like
you talking
all.
about for the main Olympics?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, that's the only way we gonna medal.
I'm
Shit, they
telling you,
better.
like all the boys, they're like, "Hey, man, look, we're gonna." even Embiid, and he's not even. I guess he's gonna have American citizenship, however they do it. But Embiid is gonna play with the USA.
Listen, man, they saw that shit we put out there, man. It was embarrassing for like. Well, I don't want to say it was embarrassing how they. I'm just saying for our standard, that ain't yeah, bro. We yeah.
It was
I
the heat
mean,
of that moment too. We were just talking about it. Oh
you know how
Lord,
much,
you
you know
know,
how
boys
much
that
heat them boy caught, how much
huh?
flack they caught, man. You know how much heat they caught for put, for, you know what I'm saying? Come on,
Yeah, a lot of them boys were like, man, don't hold your head down. You might well come on back home. Don't hold your head down. Them
you got
boys
no
was upset.
choice. Shit, it about time to kick off the real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad you're in shape. So you got it's time to get to the real thing now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, they can't. They definitely got to put together a better roster than what they put for the FIBA champion.
Man, all the way around.
And I think the team was good. They just definitely need to add a side. Add some side, sure.
And like I said, but it wasn't no veteran though. Like as far as an Olympic veteran, they didn't have no veteran leadership on that team, none whatsoever. I was about new coaching staff, everything. I was popping. Coach K don't even do it no more.
I know what we got. I can tell. I know what the result. Whatever the result were, like we can't put that same thing back out there. Expect to be better or get some different results.
Boy, yeah. I hope the
Everybody.
roster get a little better. Hopefully it improve. We'll know because LeBron and Durant already said, hey, now Steph said he would like to join. So hopefully they go ahead and put a nice little roster together. It may be Dame, Steph.
Now that'll be dope. I'm just saying. I don't know if we need all that star power, but I mean, yeah, all that sound good.
But you already know they gonna put some power. They out there see what happened. They ain't playing no game. If you can do it with the
Uh,
Dream Team One, there was a bunch of star power on Dream Team One.
But I'm just thinking people like Steph, like right now, Dame, like they already got enough miles on they, you know what I'm saying,
But
on their
this is the thing,
body.
they're
They
not
ain't
gonna
trying to
really
do that
play
extra.
as much. They're not gonna play as much. They just gonna go out there and shoot their little three, play a little defense, play a little 8, 12 minutes, whatever. Shit. By that time we'll be up. They don't really have to play too much, you know. Save them for
All
really when we're
right.
gonna shoot them out in the clutch, let them boy get it in and sit down and chill, you know. Kevin
All right.
Durant.
For some of these foreign teams, good for they got NBA players. I mean, I ain't saying they us, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
that. Bro. They ain't,
yeah,
you talking about
yeah.
that we
It's
gonna be
some of
up
them
after
gonna want
8 minutes?
yeah. I think Germany and who was that where who I think Luca who Luca played with.
I can't remember yet. That data transfer that I'm here.
I can see a couple of them teams that give us a little trouble. But other than that, man, shoot, they trying to put their roster together. They like,
I think Canada got a few NBA players.
yeah.
Uh, it's a few teams.
I think we can probably beat Canada. That's I don't even think what's the name even play. Like Wiggins. Wiggins is from Canada. I don't even think he counted.
Hmm.
He
I
didn't
think
count the
for,
team.
for 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 the Olympics, he probably would.
Hmm.
Then they got what's the old boy? I'm gonna call him Dylan Bell, but old boy who was for the Memphis. He hit 40 on us this year in the FIBA game. I
Oh
think he set
yes,
a record
yes,
on us.
yes, 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 yes. Who he played with? You say he played with Memphis.
Yeah, they traded him at the end of this past year. I can't think of the name. He got traded to I think Houston.
Oh, so yeah, Houston now.
I think so.
Hmm. Yeah, Houston got a lot of guards. They're gonna end up trading somebody.
He's not a guard. He's a I think he's a three.
Hmm.
I can't think his name. Light skinned
You
dude,
talking about? Yeah,
tall.
yeah, because him and Anthony Edwards were going at it. I know who you talking about.
His name. Yeah.
He said,
Hey man, what's Southwest doing?
man, I talked to Quincy, man, and I think they was like 2-5 when I talked to him.
Ooh,
Yeah, they was like 2-5, and he said that the funny thing about it, they could still make the playoffs. So I got to hit him back up on the phone and see what's going on.
oh, okay.
But ever since I left in 2020, man, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
Hey man, you need to look at your schedule calendar November, man. How to get up to homecoming, man.
When in November what?
I think it's fourth, November 4th that weekend. November 4th, I think.
Yeah, so they
I
got
look
that in
at
Freak Town too.
my calendar. Yeah, man, you need to get up on November 4th. That's yeah. Oh, you know what? I think we actually my respect ahead to show with Coach Adam, I think we filming live from Preacher Comfort that Friday.
On the
Because
third.
I got them it's in my calendar, yeah. I think we have been confirmed for that. 'Cause we filmed live there before. I don't know if you saw that show. It was a pretty good show. Check that out. But we're gonna be filming there live on the third.
Mm-hmm.
And then homecoming is that Saturday.
I
You
gotta
try to
get my
get up,
dog
dog.
Georgia jersey. Get my dog a Georgia jersey. You understand?
Homecoming be pretty cool, man. You try to get out. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah.
with that being said, with UGA, man, kind of get back to them a little bit, man. I just, like I said, at the end of the day, we're undefeated. We're on the way to our third, shot at our third national championship. And, I think over the past 2 years, we have set a certain standard. What you talking about, DJ? He said they got to play Stevenson. He talking about South with the Cavs. They win one region, they'll be in the playoff game. Down there, everybody go to the playoff now in high school, man. It's
Bro,
crazy.
they take the top 4 teams now.
That's what I'm saying. Down there, everybody make the
That
playoff.
shit so
I mean,
easy now. I
they be
told you
having
that,
losing records making the playoff. Like
bro.
what?
All the Georgia high school rules have changed as
Hmm.
far as like how to get in the playoffs or go get to the state and all that shit. Like the track, all that on change. They got sectionals after regionals and all this other extra shit. Come on, man. They doing too much.
Well, part of it probably had to do with driving revenue. The more games, the more you can charge. You know what I mean?
Shit, they still playing 10 games. We played 10 games. And guess what they doing? And they closing schools and they building schools and they rezoning. Kids that was over here at that school, now they got to go to this school. If you live on this half of the street, now you got to go to that school. Well, all y'all went to school together at one time because you live on one side of the road. I'm on this side of the road. Now you got to go to that new school they just built. I can stay over here at our old school. Like they doing it. It's ugly now.
I go back again. I'm sure some type of revenue is driving. You know what I mean? Whatever the contracts they getting or whatever's going on, they'll figure out the logistics at another point. But they gonna get that revenue. They're gonna get them contracts to do whatever they need to do. That's gonna drive revenue. The other stuff will work itself out. It's kind of how it works. It's kind of how it goes. That ain't no different than the realignment in college football. You know what I'm saying? They like you finna have Stanford, Cal, and USC in the ACC. Come on, bro. Like they don't care nothing about the schedule. Like y'all will figure it out, but we gonna get this TV money. You know what I'm saying? Now you way over here on the West Coast, but you're in the conference that's way over on the East Coast. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Do you get the logistics of that, bro?
So
Like
so what they
having to
gonna be
travel.
ACC West, goddamn?
No, they doing away with they doing away with division. Even the SEC doing away. Like ain't gonna be no more East and West no more. It's just gonna be the two best teams.
It's just SEC.
Yep.
Ooh, so my next season coming up.
Hmm.
Oh my god, and that's gonna be all the conferences.
No, not all the conferences, but I know that the SEC is going to that, and the ACC. Matter of fact, the ACC might be there, or they going to it too.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and the
So what
more
they gonna
East
yeah, they gonna do
West.
about Notre Dame, man? As far as they football,
They
I mean,
they
shit,
still
they still
independent. Yeah, they're gonna stay independent. Why not? They with the money they get, they can do their own thing. They ain't gotta be tied to nobody. Why not? Cause what they can do is they can still go in and play anybody out of any of their those other conferences to keep their schedule strong. So they good. I wouldn't
that's amazing, man. Like these boys independent, they still have a chance to win national championship if they can ball out.
to answer your question, DJ. Yeah, the NIL has trickled down. I know in the state of Georgia, it's been
Mhm.
passed with NIL deals. Uh, it's trickled down to the high school in
Yeah,
Georgia.
they
Yes.
just
Matter of
approved it.
fact, they just approved it. Yeah, wait, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 3 weeks ago. Yep. Like wow. Oh, they got so
Yeah.
many stipulations behind that though, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are kind of like, what I'm saying, college. Like you can't use the logo, school logo, that type stuff. All that stuff, copyright, written, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But I'm loving it, and I'm sure it's gonna be some, like most things, it's gonna be a negative side that comes with it. But that's how I go. The money just trickles down. That's what I'm saying. Like the NFL trickle down to college trickle down to high school trickle down to AAU. I mean, that's how I go. The more money, it's just so much more money getting involved. It's like you can't hide it. Like everybody want to eat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely that. Man. Boy,
Because when you
powerful.
look at NIL, bro, like just look how much money college athletes have. Now, people get. I'm just talking about from a legal standpoint. How much college athletes have been missing out on, and people, want to say, well, you getting a free education. You see how much money he kid got $1 million evaluation. Should do a 4.9 million. Now we talking about outliners. He's probably higher. Caleb Williams, 3.8 million. But you get what I'm talking about. These are 1 year evaluations. We ain't even talking about over a
Yeah,
career.
shit. I think he got a chance to make up to 5 million on his Caleb.
Right. All that. But that's what I'm getting at, like the kind of money that, you know, players have players have been missing out on generational money. And but the first thing people want to say, that I'm saying, would be like, well, you getting a free education. What about all this fucking money? Oh, I don't know, my
Yeah.
forgot what I was at. But all this money, bro, you know what I'm saying? Your jersey. Like I say, bro, I still got my NCAA game breaker game. Game breaker sold probably millions on millions of copies.
And y'all on
I
the
can
game.
literally sit there and play as myself on a video game. Just like, you know what I'm saying? And got zero money.
Like my boy BG said, I made the word bling blings in the dictionary. They ain't give a nigga nothing.
Bro, that won't listen, bro. It's
Hey, for
I'm saying
real.
just so
They
much money that was people was keeping and misusing, and that how much money I'm saying how much money the players make, and just now you see it. That's all I'm saying. Utah, they whole football team get a lease on a truck,
come
like
on,
a
man.
free lease on the truck for a year or something like that. Now,
Come on,
the
man.
whole team
For
get the
real.
truck,
For
bro.
real.
Yeah, you ain't
Oh
see
my
it.
God. Oh my God. See, that's why like programs back in the days, man, like the Miamis, the SMUs, them folks that were masterminding that money. Then they started taking away scholarships, saying they this man. Like you look at everything now, the Michigan with the Fab Five. I mean, come on, man. Like Reggie Bush, they man, it's crazy now with this NIL compared to what it was when we was in school. Like,
Yeah,
It's all gravy now.
well, that's what I'm
How
saying.
you doing,
And
Coach?
shout out to Coach, man.
What's
They
going on, people?
jumping in.
All right.
Hey, Coach, we just in the we had on switched over to some NIL stuff, man. We don't beat up
Mm,
on Georgia enough, you know what I'm saying? So I have
yeah.
uh beat up on them enough, Coach, because and I really wish we would have had a show this week because something that I kind of have been alluding to, I didn't really say, but kind of what I wanted to say, man, is like we 6-0, right? You
Seven,
know what I'm saying?
seven.
7-0, 7-0, and that's great, and that's ultimately the goal.
True.
And a lot of the things that we do is nitpick.
Hmm.
But what I'm getting at is the thing that pisses me off is the things that we're talking about are actually coming to fruition. Like the same thing that we be talking about, like we seeing it. We literally just talking about not playing with your food, not having a slow start. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, dog.
Talking about overuse of Brock Bowers. Now I ain't saying that's why he got hurt, but I'm just talking about we were literally just talking about he being overused. Like he got when he went down, he already had 4 catches, probably on 6, 7 attempts. I already had a carry, and we
Now he
ain't
had
barely
two
in the
carries
second
for
quarter.
21 yards.
We got
Hmm.
hurt on the second one, but I'm just talking about prior to the injury. I'm just talking about the overusage in a
Hmm.
game that we don't even need them. All
I
that kind of stuff.
and I don't know. That's a lot of blame to go around. I think JB hit on it, or maybe somebody on one of the shows that said, "Well, in 2021 we had a different mindset. Now we 2 championships in, and we expect different.
Hold on,
Some
bro.
of
That'd be my whole point. I'd be telling you,
we expect
build up a.
yeah, we expect different. Like we expect to, okay, all right, first 4 games we came out slow, but now we should be riding right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And getting to that point with Vandy, okay, they scored on the opening drive. That's no big deal. Then we go up, what 21-7, I don't know what it was, and then we have the third quarter where they make it on TV look like it's a game. I'm at the game. It wasn't a game, but to the untrained eye, it looked like a game, and we're not used to that. Not this many games into the season. And I think what's so frustrating about it is you had a game like Kentucky. Kentucky absolutely wore Florida out. They literally was probably the best team that we played thus far. Not saying that they're a great team. They're super duper physical, and then we absolutely put the smack down on them. And then we turn around and go to Vandy and like we win, but we don't win. Like we let them score for one. I know the fans are not happy about that. We let them score. I could have told you it was going to score though. This defense is good. They don't perform the same way.
About
Like
200 in the air, man.
listen, man, in between the 20s, and for any Georgia fan want to know, in between the 20s, it's gonna be hard to get in the red zone on us. But once you get there, ole.
Hit him with the Vegas line. Coach.
Giving it up like the day walkers in Vegas, baby. I'm telling you. Listen, what we was used to the past 2 years, and even some in 2020, to be real with you, if we turned the ball over or we gave up a short field, regardless of how it happened, we was like, oh man, they'd be good to this other team be good to get a field goal. They'd be good to get a field goal if they score. Now it's like if we turn the ball over inside the 30, it's touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's what happened against Auburn. Yes, Auburn ran for a whole bunch of yards, but two of their touchdowns came off of an interception and a fumble, and they got the ball on like on our 28-yard line, 25-yard line, and we
Shout out
couldn't.
to Jason, man. He did jump in the comments. What up, Jason?
Yeah, man. So it's like we just like you say, Charlotte. It's definitely a different sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And hey man, we got to eat this thing up, man. I'm just gonna tell you,
Let,
man.
let me ask you this question that I asked Pop not too long ago. I said I've been beating up on Georgia the whole show. So let me ask you this because I've been playing devil's advocate. So my question to you would be this right here. And it could be a combination of things.
Mm-hmm.
Are we maybe just not as good as we thought we should be? Or maybe just hard to get up for these games because you think so much big picture. or maybe some of these teams are just better than we think they are because of the parity throughout the league.
I don't think it's the third. I don't think the teams that we've played are better than we think they are. I think that it's a combination of we don't get up for the games and for expectations coming into the season. We're not, because it's hard for a regular fan to come into the season off of two, natties with all the talent that we had coming back to not expect to have an average scoring margin of beating people by about 30 to 35 points. But you mentioned it all off season. You mentioned it during the season. Some of these guys are talented, but there's no Jalen Carters. So when Jalen Carter would break up a play inside the red zone and stop the team by himself, pretty much. I mean, everybody else is doing their job. We don't have a disruptor. Kirby said it. Kirby, I think a lot of people need to really start listening to Kirby when he talking these press conferences. He's been trying to kind of tell us this. He's been saying we got a good defensive line. We don't have a disruptor. That makes a difference. It makes a difference if nobody can run at you, but they can run around you, because Nolan Smith, he could shuffle down right beside the tackle, the defensive tackle, defensive end, and cover the edge because he's running a 4-4.
Yeah. His principle is he wants to run east and west because of our speed.
Because of our speed.
You get more yards faster north and south.
Exactly. So, but if you know football and you've been actually watching, you knew that Cass Chalmers works hard, but he ain't athletic or as fast as Nolan Smith or Robert Beal, who can, like Marvin Jones. I'm telling you, I was in and people was wondering why I was getting happy and going crazy at the game Saturday, because I was at Bandy. Marvin Jones read to play exactly like he was supposed to, but he didn't have to do the same thing that Chaz does because he's long, athletic, and fast. As he comes on, I think we'll see some more of that. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Coming into the season, you just like the untrained fan and some trained fans, you just expected Chaz to do what Nolan Smith been doing. Like, the dude was a top 10 pick. Like, we can't really, this is what, back to what you hit on. Yeah, Chaz is good. Tremel Walter is good. They ain't top 10 NFL first round.
They ain't special. They good players. We had special players.
Now
that's what it take to win that.
Now where it comes in, we ain't getting up for these games, this is what I've been saying all season. Are you the coach? Y'all gonna win another one? Y'all gonna win another one? Man, you know how hard it is to get these dudes, in my mind, to up for this, because you got y'all was talking about NIL when I came in. You got all this NIL going on. These guys getting this dough. Dog, the true juniors on the team got 2 rings, dog. They played 2 years, got 2 rings. You tell me they ain't walk around campus with their head like you? What you gonna tell them? They like, I got 2 chips.
Yeah.
I got 2 chips, man. What you can't tell me. And I know they still play, but look at Jamon Dubas Johnson. Last year he's literally the only Buckets Award finalist. There was 5 of them that returned to college this year. He should have been a shoe-in for this award. Even to his own admission, he ain't been playing up to average. Why? You know why? Because he like, I got 2 chips, bro. Like, I'm trying to get to the lead, but I got 2 chips.
Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you what, to maybe not none of his own fault and some of it is. They also don't have them dogs up front. Keep them linebackers free, run and make plays. You know what I'm saying?
And then where you say some of the teams, I would say they're getting better, but I don't think I don't think Vandy's gotten so much better that they should have been within 10 points of us. I don't think that. Right. But I think some of the coaches are getting better. Like, other than Stoops, everybody know you can't run right at Georgia. I don't care who on that defensive line, but Stoops, he gonna beat his head against that brick wall. But Auburn's like, there's no way we running right at Georgia thinking we're gonna win. There's no way. So they run around the edge. And this year, the difference is we ain't got that speed on that edge that can walk them down. Think back how many times before Adam Anderson got kicked off, he ran down Clemson players in 2021, and Nolan Smith is running people down. Robert Beal is running people down because it's doing exactly what Kirby wants. They're pushing people to the outside.
I said that jack position is one of the most important
And
team cause we don't have stud.
we done had absolute. We went from we went from multiple. Like Adam Anderson was a first rounder before he got kicked off. That's his point, but he was a first rounder. We went from first rounder to 4-star. That's and Tremel Worth was a 3-star.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's good, but again, his body just has limitations, and what's I think what's coming to fruition, like you said, and you've been saying it. We got some good guys, and they're good, and I do think they're good enough to win a national championship. But it definitely ain't gonna look the way you want it to look because they're not special. It's gonna take a total team effort. Like somebody asked me about Brock Bowers. I was like, yeah,
a little bit of luck.
I said, we're going to miss Brock Bowers because what he can do as one person, it's going to take Delt, Lucky, and Sperling, and a wide receiver or two. We just going to have to use more people to get the production of that one person, which is going to make it harder. And it may not look like you want it to look,
Oh, them backs keep on running that ball.
And not for nothing. I don't I don't put nothing on like to blame injuries, but if you want to know why the offense hasn't outside of passing hasn't looked like it should.
We can't beat, Jason? I mean to cut y'all. Coach Robert said we can't beat who? When you get a chance, let me know who you're talking about, Jason. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. He might be talking about Washington. I don't know. But we got not for nothing. We RBU, right? We got a wide receiver running back.
Right.
I'm just saying, like the standard is RBU. We got a wide receiver, and I love Dylan Bell back there, but Dylan Bell ain't a healthy Kendall Milton. You see what I'm saying? Dylan Bell ain't a healthy Branson Robinson. So I'm interested, to close it out. I'm interested to see what we're gonna look like because we are starting to get kind of healthy. Ladd is supposedly 100% now, but it seems like I ain't gonna lie. This is why I don't blame injuries. 2021, we came into the season like, man, we got George Pickens, dog. Arguably the best, one of the best wide receivers in the nation. George Pickens didn't even play the whole year. We came into last year wanting AD. Listen, we want AD was supposed to be, the guy, and he came out in Oregon and he did it. But then
let me ask y'all this question too, Coach. And I'm gonna ask you too, Pat, because this is my opinion. This kind of going to it with Jason. He said Coach saying that we can't be beat.
Oh yeah. Coach Roybal said he's like nobody can do it this year. He said we're gonna win 3.
Listen, man, I can see. I'm just on a neutral field.
Yeah,
I can probably see 4 or 5 teams that could beat them.
I think if you just talking straight X's and O's, not real world, none of that. I think on a neutral field there is about 4 teams that can take us out. But But now, granted, when we was like you saw the little the clip of Jason, that's what got them arguing because Coach said that couldn't nobody beat us.
Oh, I hate I couldn't get on the show last.
Yeah.
I would have had my popcorn ready.
So I said that it's some questions. I still gonna hey, toe meat leather. I'm gonna take the dogs, but I think Washington right now is the best team in the nation. On a neutral field, if all we was talking about is X's and O's and what they look like, but we know sports ain't like that. Sports is a lot of mental as well. I think where Georgia, and this is what Coach
they might have the best offense. I don't know if they're the best team.
I think they're the best team.
Oklahoma.
I think they're the best team.
That's you can argue. It's hard not to say not.
You got Michigan out here not playing anybody, but like I was saying on the ranking show, they beating them like they nobody though. Like they beating them. They beating them like Georgia fans want Georgia to beat Vandy and stuff. Like they taking them to the woodshed. You know what I'm saying? They hung 50 on somebody. It's a conference opponent. They hung 50 on them.
They don't do style points. They don't do style points no more like they used to.
Well,
that's part of the eye test, but you ain't just getting.
We probably would have went down to rank number 2 or 3 if they were going by style points or something.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When the college football playoff come out, I want to say it comes out after we play Florida or the official one or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if we not number 1. But at the end of the day, I keep telling people get so mad about it. Like, bro, this is not who's playing in the championship today. Like, as long as we win, and this is my point to anybody that say it don't look good, we in year 3 of championship run. I'm taking W's however I can get them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got to.
But
And like I say, it's just gonna be the results gonna probably be the same, but it's just gonna be it's gonna look a lot different.
Has it ever
yeah.
been a three-peat? Has it ever been a three-peat?
Well, I mean,
Not in the modern era.
technically, yeah, not in the modern era, but technically,
Back
when
in
they
the
was
day,
just
like when Notre Dame was
when
doing
they
it,
ain't had no they ain't had no face masks, and then
Leatherhead, yeah, the
Minnesota
Let- let-
won 3 straight.
So let me ask you this right here. How, and you know, we always talk about style and matchup, right? They make fight.
Yeah,
Who you see winning Washington versus Oklahoma?
Sooners.
I guess I know how you say Washington, you think the
Washington.
best team. You think Pop, you think Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I think Washington.
Yeah.
See, I think the thing that Washington hasn't faced yet is somebody with a good front set. And that's what I think they're gonna run into in the playoff.
My pushback, you true, I agree with that, but my pushback is, what offense has Oklahoma actually faced?
Texas was a good offense.
Was it? What, like,
Yeah,
if you
I
go
think.
like
I mean, I ain't
they
saying they the best, but they're good. I'm not saying they Washington, but yeah.
so
I mean, that's I
okay.
think that's a
Okay, and then so you said, I ain't saying they're the best, but they ain't Washington. Washington's Oregon's front. Oregon, we talking about Oregon's front is as formidable as Oklahoma's front.
It
And
didn't look like that.
you know why?
Oklahoma looked way bigger and faster, but I mean,
Now, when Oregon was playing every other game besides Washington, they didn't look bigger and faster. They didn't
hold
look
on, say
bigger and
it
faster.
again. Now?
I said before they played Washington, was Oregon's front not looking big and fast?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't seen Oregon. That was the first time I saw Oregon play this.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just
There
being
you go.
honest. I mean, I couldn't answer that fairly.
And
I
see,
think, man,
I just know last time I also seen we put up 40 on Oregon. You know what I mean?
well, the last time you're right. Last time we saw Oregon, we put up for it on Oregon, but we also had a different offense too.
True. I'm just saying I don't think Oregon maybe is quite there yet.
I think, and this is what I'm saying. So when you compare Texas's offense to Washington's offense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to start some shit.
Yeah.
Jason about to hit Jason with the link.
Okay. And
Y'all
then
talking too much about Oklahoma.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But like that's, I think it goes for both teams. I think Washington hasn't, they've only played Oregon. Oklahoma's only played Texas. And
Okay.
Washington has, and so you say both of them got one game where they did what they had to do against a team that we all say we're saying is formidable. Outside of that, or Washington's handled more business. That's what I was.
Okay, so how many seasons has Washington been consistent like what they are now?
They was
within the past 5 years.
They was 11-2 last year. Oklahoma was 6-7. So what we doing?
Within the past 5 years, no, it's not like within the
But
past
the
5 years.
problem with you saying that is Lincoln Riley was the coach the first 3 years of Oklahoma. He ain't the coach no more.
Exactly, yeah. They had Caleb. Doing, yeah.
So while they improved defensively and they are
revamped, I think they on revamp even.
They improved defensively and they can score on offense, but they can't, bruh. Washington is done. Washington been scoring for a long time. So
Jason.
Sorry, Coach. I had to bust your chops a little bit.
Oh man, we good. Hey, you know how we do.
What's up, bro?
And that's another thing. I think we say Washington got a good offense, but Washington also has a decent defense too.
They do. I don't really have a big problem with you saying Washington's better right now. I don't know that. I think that what I said on the show last night when we were talking about this, I think that if the best chance to beat Washington is a defense like what Oklahoma has that's going to force turnovers, bait you into throws that you don't want to make.
But that's the thing. I don't know if there's a throw that Penix don't want to make. I got Penix winning the Heisman, so I'm
he may want to. Okay, well, if you want to make that throw, you're going to get it taken back the other way. You can't
possibly.
You seen Pot's face when you said that?
Yeah, possibly.
Damn.
Possibly, but I'm just saying,
Penix, hey, listen, I like Penix as much as anybody, but he hasn't faced a defense like that.
True, I agree with that, Jason. But you haven't faced the offense like Washington.
I agree with that too.
Just like last year. Listen, this is what Michigan and Ohio State all said the last 2 years. Georgia hasn't played a team like this. Georgia hasn't played a team like this. And my rebuttal was always
don't
true.
call
Listen. Hold on, dog. Let me finish my point. So my comeback was always true. We hadn't faced a team like that, but they hadn't played Georgia either. And how did that play out? So I'm saying, no, they haven't faced a defense like yours per se. I can say Oregon is as close to your defense, more so than Texas's offense is close to Washington.
What did you say last night, though, about what you have to deal with in practice every day? Because that defense gets to face that offense every day in practice too. And that offense at Oklahoma,
but y'all offense is good, but it ain't like Washington's offense. No, just like Washington's defense ain't Oklahoma.
The receivers, when it comes to the receivers, there are six guys that can hurt you every day.
You will take them over Dunze, over McMillan, over Polk, over the tight end. You'll take them. You just lost your best receiver, Jason. You said that.
I said they lost Andrew Anthony. I didn't say he was the best receiver. I think that he's not the best receiver. I think Farouk is right up there. And I also think Nick Anderson is the best receiver on that team. He's the best athlete.
You got Farouk and Anderson, but neither one of those are Dunze and McMillan or Polk. Come on, bro. Like what we doing?
What I'm telling you is that they are on the level of those guys. They're not.
No,
they not. Yes, they are. Come on.
They're not. No, they're not.
Okay.
So how big of a disparity are we talking about between these two things?
That's like me saying Lad McConkey is on Marvin Harrison's level. Lad McConkey is elite, but he is not on Marvin Harrison's level.
You got 6'5" receiver in Nick Anderson. You got a 6'6" receiver in Jaden Gibson, who doesn't even play all the time. And then you got Farouk.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
I'm saying
these guys that I'm talking about, you're going off of what you think. I'm going off of what we actually see on the field. I can tell you that Andrew Paul is the next coming at Georgia, but we ain't seen it. I can tell you that Branson Robinson, when he get healthy, he's gonna be the next couple.
Look at what they're putting up offensively on the numbers. Look, it's not the same as Washington. They may not be.
I just said that. That's what you just said. That's what I just said. They're not Washington. You tried to say they were Washington.
I didn't say that they were Washington.
You said that the receivers are on the same level.
As close as they get to look, that offense is gonna be. They're not gonna have faced. They will have faced as close as you're gonna get to a Washington team.
Is Dylan Gabriel as good as Michael Penix?
No,
so
look.
As far as throwing the ball,
you don't see it in practice every day. That's what
guys. How much separation is there between the two teams?
I don't know about separation. I'm just saying Washington, in my opinion.
That's the point I'm trying to make is there's not as much separation between them as you're acting like there is.
That's why I asked the question.
No, I'm not acting like he asked me a question. I said that y'all can't beat them. That doesn't mean, Shawty, in the first season, what did you tell me? How much you need to win?
1 point.
All I said was they will beat you, is what my opinion is. They will beat you. It doesn't matter if they beat you. I didn't say they was going to beat you by 20 or they was going to beat you by 1. I said they will beat you because you saying that they haven't faced a defense like Oklahoma.
I want to see that game.
They haven't had anybody that's turned them over yet.
That's a good playoff game. That's a good playoff game.
You ain't had nobody like Washington either. It goes both ways, Jason. You can't just say Oklahoma.
Okay, hold on a minute though. There's how many times have you talked about the receiving core? Hold on a minute. How many times have you talked about the receiving core at Texas and the quarterback and the fact that they can run the football too at Texas?
I ain't never said great things about Quinn Ewers. I don't need that. You can pull it up. I ain't never said. Okay. I said he was okay. And I did say that their wide receiver core was good, but I also said Washington could give out.
They turned them over immediately and often.
Quinn Ewers isn't Michael Penix.
Come on, bro.
Mm.
The bottom line is they're going to get pressure where there
You
nobody
had
else.
like you had like Oregon straight toilet water on defense. So
You
now
know what?
Oregon ain't
Quinn
good on
Ewers had
defense.
thrown one interception the whole season coming into that game. One.
So Oregon
picked them
don't
off twice in the first
Oregon don't
quarter.
So what's the gap between Oregon and Oklahoma?
It's not much.
So you said they haven't played anybody like Oklahoma. They just beat.
I thought you were saying Washington. Excuse me. Between Oregon and Oklahoma, I don't know that it's a whole lot either. I think that they're pretty close between each other. I'm saying
you said they ain't faced nobody like Oklahoma, dog. They just beat Oregon, and you saying Oregon and Oklahoma right
they're
there.
not the same teams doing the same things. Come on.
Okay, dog. So Oregon ain't got no defense now.
I didn't say they didn't have no defense, but we've seen that they've had some lapses on defense.
Against who other than
Texas Tech?
Texas Tech tied the game up with a pick.
Okay, they gave up a lot of points to Texas Tech. You know they did. Yes, they had a pick six.
And that vaunted offense that you talk about teams have bad games. How many points y'all score against Cincinnati?
Yeah, just 20. Yeah. They were big on the defensive line. I will give you that.
So your point is null and void because you're telling me
it's not null and void. Why are you doing that?
Because you're telling me that Oregon's not that good because they gave up points to Texas.
When did I say Oregon wasn't that good?
You saying that they can't compare to Oklahoma, dog?
That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
Oh my God, we're going round and round, dog. Can they compare to Oklahoma or not?
Can they compare what?
Defensively.
In the secondary, no, they can't.
I didn't say secondary, dog. It takes more than the secondary to play defense.
They're doing in the secondary, they don't. Everywhere else, probably.
So Kyrie Jackson can't compare to no corner y'all got.
Dude, I'm telling you how it's gone. The secondary between the safeties and the corners have been able to they're generating, that they're generating more turnovers. They've got more interceptions than anybody in the country.
And USC got more sacks than anybody in the country. Like one stat doesn't prove that you're. All I'm asking is
either you know that
all I said was I agree with the point that you said they hadn't faced a team like Oklahoma, but it goes on the same foot on the other side. You haven't played a team like Washington. You haven't.
Okay.
That's point blank. We go around and say the same thing I've been saying.
Okay. They hadn't dealt with somebody that's going to get the kind of pressure that Oklahoma gets either. Okay. It's simple. Look, are you going to tell me that they've played anybody that would be able to put on the kind of pressure that Georgia's going to put on them too?
How many sacks does Oregon have, and how many sacks does Oklahoma have?
Oklahoma doesn't have a ton of sacks, but they have more tackles for loss and pressures than most anybody but Georgia. They got more and you know as well as I do that there's nuances to why sacks happen early in the season and why they don't.
You can't cherry pick stats, dog. Either they get pressure or they don't. Either they get and Oregon gets pressure. You say they haven't faced a team that's going to get pressure like y'all. Oregon got pressure
that Oklahoma gets. And I'm going to tell you this much. You go in and you play against Texas's vaunted offensive line, they sacked yours 5 freaking times.
Pi, you just going to have to jump in there.
What's up, Pi?
See,
the thing is, you're holding your Texas win higher than Washington's Oregon win. That's what you're doing. And Oregon, and we don't know if Oregon is just as good as win as the win is for you for Texas.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna say from an eye test. I've had a chance to see. I'm not an Oklahoma fan. I've had a chance to see Oklahoma play a few times this year. And to Jason's point, I don't think, and to your point too, I'm just making an observation here. To his point is, I don't think Washington has seen anything like their front seven.
Okay.
And I do think that would. That's what I meant by style made matchup. I do think that would limit them in scoring points. And I think Oklahoma offense is good enough to keep up with them because they're going to be limited in points.
So
But
this
to
is
your
what.
point, they haven't seen anything like Washington's
But
offense
to
either.
that point, to that front seven point, you also said you haven't watched Oregon. So go watch Oregon.
Right, right.
Then you tell me if you feel the same way. And if you feel the same way, okay. I've watched Oregon. I watched Oklahoma again. They both playing a basically light competition. They both have good front sevens. I don't think Oklahoma's no
Who's the
higher.
better of the two?
I honestly don't know. I think they're the same level. I think
But coach, you
Oregon.
say you watched them.
Yeah, I think they're the same level.
Okay. Okay,
I said the
gotcha.
same
Okay.
level. Yeah, that's what I
All
just
right.
said.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
Oklahoma beat them.
I've only seen Oregon play once, so I can't,
And you watched them against Washington?
right.
So scoring offense, Oklahoma is just ahead of Washington. And then scoring defense, they're well ahead of Washington and Oregon.
It's gonna be a good game.
Oh, scoring
man.
offense, Oregon's number one.
I think it's a great matchup.
Washington, huh?
I want to see that matchup.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
a great
wanna see that
matchup.
I think it's a great matchup.
Scoring offense, who's number one?
Oregon's
didn't
number
hear.
one. Oregon's number one, but Washington is behind Oklahoma, just one spot behind them, bro. So they're right there.
Where's Texas and all of that?
Where is Texas and all that? Let's see.
So where's their
Nah,
offense? Where's their offense? That's better, course. So where's their offense?
Let me look. And they're definitely because of, let's see, they're in the top 30, but they're about 10 points behind. That's the one thing about them is they're great. They've struggled so bad in the red zone, and I'm talking all year. They have, no doubt about it. But they had 500 yards. They had 500 yards on Oklahoma. They just hadn't put it in the end zone. That's their problem.
True.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you talking,
that's the other thing that I think.
This is what I'm saying.
Red zone. That's where
we got Oregon. Like when you talk about offenses, like you say, Jason, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Washington all in the top 10. Texas ain't in the top 10.
They're in the top 5. They're in the top 5. Yeah.
So when I say
we're talking about scoring offense in the top 10. So let me say that, coach. To our point, us playing a team like that, what we do in the red zone? We give it up like who?
We give it up like daywalkers, but you got to get to the red zone first, and we're good at not letting you get
to the top 10 scoring offense.
Because this is another reason why we can go to scoring, and I'm gonna put that the Washington Oklahoma on the back burner. You said you was hard on the Dogs, right? If we use those scoring defense and scoring offenses numbers,
they're right there.
Top 10 in both of them.
They are.
So what we complaining about? You see what I'm saying? It's all perception, dog. Like you watching the game.
Scoring defense, Georgia's number 7. They're tied.
I go by the eye test.
They're tied with Oklahoma at number 7. Yep. And then on scoring offense, 9. Scoring offense, you're number 9, and Oklahoma's 4th.
Yeah. So that's
Washington's 5th. But that's what the point I was trying to make is you're saying that they don't go up, but last night you were saying that you didn't worry about what's going to happen with Georgia once they get tested, because we agreed that nobody's really going to test them in the SEC unless they just don't play well, right? Mm-hmm. But in the playoff, they could be tested, and that'd be the first time they get tested. And you weren't worried about it because of what they see in practice every day, who they have to go up against in practice every day. And I'm going to tell you the same thing.
But also, you have prep time. That makes a big difference too, Jason. When you have prep time,
and he did.
I also said if Washington wants to beat us, they better get us in the first round.
That's why I was just alluding to as well. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you can say that, but they're going up against that every day in practice against a similar offense with similar weapons. Now, do I agree that the best receivers in the country are probably in Washington? If not Ohio State, yes. But there's 3 of them. There's 6 guys at Oklahoma that every day they got to deal with different sizes, different speeds, all that stuff that they're dealing with those guys too. So if there is anybody that's going to be prepared for a Washington offense, I'm telling you, that's why I like that style, that fight matchup. You talk about styles making fights. I love that matchup because I feel like we're going to find a way to turn them over.
Okay, to that point, in practice all year last year, for the most part, when you said different size receivers, We had to deal with Brock Bowers. Our defense had to deal with Brock Bowers.
Right.
They had to deal with Lad McConkey.
Mm-hmm.
They had to deal with Rosemary Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the playoffs, from Georgia Tech on, they had to deal with A.D. Mitchell. And I'm gonna tell you, I went to a couple of practices in the offseason. Nobody could stop A.D. Mitchell, but they got to practice against him every day. But none of that shit prepared us for Marvin Harrison Jr.
You know what though? I don't agree with that necessarily, because how did y'all beat? How did they keep up with you by freaking their quarterback doing something he had never done before? Run the damn ball.
Yeah, but Marvin
was great. Marvin was great. Don't get me wrong, but
that's all. That's what I'm saying about that. Yes, you do have some. I like Oklahoma's receivers. I don't think it's like seeing Roman,
it's almost like
and McMillan every single day. Just like you said,
it's almost like you got to prepare for a good team, and you got somebody running the scout team quarterback. You got a receiver running the scout team quarterback because you know the guy you're gonna play is supposedly as fast. But he got there. He ain't fast like the other guy is, because you can't simulate what the real guy do. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like they can't manufacture your front seven every day in practice. They can't do that. They got a decent front seven, but it ain't no Oklahoma.
Ways that they're going to bring pressure at you.
But you also cannot replicate Michael Penix and all the ways he can get his guys the ball. I don't care how good your offense is, number wise. You watched it, dog. You watched it, man.
Let me ask you a question though. If you don't you think that Venables will bring a different type of pressure than what they've ever seen? And from different ways, exotic ways.
Yes.
And no matter who the hell you are, if you're Tom fucking Brady, you're under pressure, what's going to happen?
Actually,
you ain't going to make the throws the same.
You're not. But they're off. Listen, again, I
don't know if it'll be the scheme. It's going to be the personnel.
I'm not.
It's going to be the athlete.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. You can bring pressures that they haven't solved, but they also run an offense and play an offense and execute an offense that you have not seen and will not see until you play Washington.
I'm just trying to show you that there is a path for Oklahoma to win that damn game, and you know there is.
It's a path for anybody to win, dog. What are you talking about?
You just got finished telling us there's no way that Oklahoma wins.
I said that I would pick Washington to win, Jason.
I get all angry.
I'm not getting angry until you're trying to twist my words, dog. He said who would win the game? I said Washington. Washington, my mind wins. Does that mean that Washington can't go out and lose to Oregon State next week? They can lose to Oregon State next week.
They could.
Y'all can lose to UCF. Technically, y'all could lose. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's what I'm saying, Jason. You act like Oklahoma is the only other team in the nation that is good on both sides of the ball.
That's not even what the hell I said either. Why you putting words in my mouth?
No, what you say right back at you, dog. That's what I'm saying. It's like, dog, if I pick Washington to win, you get mad because I'm picking Washington to win. I'm not mad about
you picking Washington to win. I'm telling you, I want you to acknowledge that Oklahoma could definitely win that. That's a good matchup in the playoffs.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just a difference in opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You think y'all can, and I think you can.
I made my point as to why it would work.
I made a point as to why I think it wouldn't work. So nothing was gained.
You think Washington gonna be in the Final Four?
I do.
Washington.
I pick Washington to win the Pac-12. I pick Michael Penix to go to the Heisman. And it all depends on the matchup.
Yeah, he go downtown. He'll go downtown New York.
I like
so Pat, you talking about seeding then, Pat? I think that was Pat. You talking about seeding?
I think we're both there. I believe that
But he talking about the seeding. That could be a real live matchup. If he talking about seeding,
absolutely. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a matchup.
I think Michigan is going to end up, if everything stayed the way it is, I think Michigan is going to be number one. I hate to say it. I think they're going to be number one because I don't think they respect, nothing that Georgia's doing by the way they look. And I think Washington.
I believe they were going by style points. They'll be able to knock us down.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll change when they put out the BCS thing.
Michigan's thing. They haven't played anybody yet either. They haven't played.
Doesn't matter.
But they also going, if they win out, they'll also have be the top 5 team
Okay,
at the
so
end of the year.
let me tell you why why people are I get that, and I know I agree with you, Jason. They haven't played anybody. Okay, but okay, let's
They're
take this.
about to, though. They will. They
No,
will.
no, no, no. But even right now, you guys played Cincinnati. I'm gonna use you and us. I'm gonna use you and us. You guys play Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the bottom two in the Big 12. You beat them 20-6. You beat them. We watched the game defensively. Y'all had some numbers that y'all put up, but to the commit, y'all beat them 20-6. Y'all was literally a 14.5 point favorite actually, and didn't cover the spread, right? Georgia.
It was 14 according to the. I don't know, man. Yeah, either you
yeah,
did.
it was, I know because I lost out on that because I picked y'all to cover the spread. That's why.
It depends on what book we're talking about, but okay.
Okay, so that's a game. That's a game where y'all played an inferior opponent, but you didn't look as dominant as you could have.
Oh no, and I agree with that part. Now,
all right,
look,
now Georgia. Hold on. Now Georgia, we play Vandy after we mollywop Kentucky. In the third quarter, it's 30-20. That ain't what it's supposed to look like, right? So an inferior opponent, an inferior opponent that we did look less than. We won the game, but we looked less than. Michigan plays inferior opponents. They're still conference opponents, though. They're not looking less than. That's why I'm saying that the college football playoff committee is probably going to put them at number one.
Look at enough of what's going on in those games either, because I would tell you that they took 2 touchdowns off the board for Oklahoma in that game. They had, it was.
That's a part of the game, though. At the end of the day,
guys, somebody gonna get left out, though. Who gets left out? Everybody can't make it.
You saying if everybody undefeated, like all the conference champions undefeated?
Yeah, we just assume that. Let's just assume that.
I think it would still be.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, because they would probably, if all the conference champions were undefeated, they probably put the ACC one in there and leave the.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I always
no, the Pac-12 schedule too strong. Too strong.
I believe this.
Gotta have somebody from the Pac-12.
When it comes to the college football playoff, I think that they use money in the bank, so to say. I think the SEC has money in the bank.
Come on. Yeah.
The SEC doesn't look good this year. We all can agree on that, right?
Yeah,
but
I don't
undefeated Georgia is in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
For
sure. Hey, look, you got a chance to win your third straight and you don't put them in there.
Undefeated Big Ten. Undefeated Big Ten is in the.
Yeah, there's money.
Sure, because where they started.
Yes. Now the other 3 conferences, I think Oklahoma has money in the bank if they were to win out because they made the playoffs 4 times.
Yeah, even though
that's money in the bank.
This guy,
that's money in the bank. So now you're looking at Florida State or North Carolina. So it depends on who wins between Florida State.
Let's say Florida State.
You mean Florida State or say Washington?
I'm gonna say what
right,
you
Florida
said.
State. Where he did talking about the conference.
Yeah. Of course, it's going to depend on where you start. But if I'm looking at it, I think the Pac-12 is better than the ACC because I think it's going to come down to the ACC and the Pac-12. So
the ACC is left out.
I mean, that's right. Have 2 teams. They could probably have 2 teams from the Pac-12, huh?
I think no. I think Washington I think Washington gets in over Florida State. I think so.
Yeah, because but see, that's assuming that Washington is undefeated. Because then I know you said that to start with. Because I'm not sure that
that's what we was talking about.
It worries me that because let's say Oregon wins out, right?
Okay,
and then they get in and they beat Washington, and Washington is undefeated, but Washington's undefeated going into the Pac championship game, but Oregon beats them in that game.
But that changed the whole. That changed the whole.
You're talking about 5
the whole narrative.
Conference champions, 5 conference champions,
undefeated,
all undefeated.
Right.
I think Washington gets in over the ACC.
I think they should. I don't know that. I would.
They should.
But you don't think Florida State? You don't think Florida State has some kind of cash with them?
Because they got in.
It's just Washington's strength of schedule. When you come talking about the BCS voting, it will override what Florida State wins have done.
I don't know that you would. I think that Florida State fans would argue that with you all day.
True, but they ain't got money in the bank again. So then you try to go to some actual,
they got
measurables.
A lot of power, man. They got a lot of power within those committees. I think Florida State. Don't you think so?
Now, I would think from a revenue standpoint, Florida State would be a better pick.
That's what I'm talking about.
True.
And I think that's where the committee, you know, it's all well and good, but when you run up against, okay, do I think that Washington's better than Florida State? Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
I don't like Jordan Travis as much as a lot of people do.
Me either. I don't
But
like.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Florida State folks, they got a bigger following. They got more money involved in it, and they it's not a foregone conclusion that you would have.
They're gonna travel
Washington over Florida State. I don't think it is.
It could be. I think if it's Clemson, they're not undefeated. But if they were in Florida State's place or North Carolina's place with the same schedule, I think Clemson automatically gets in, even if they look as bad as Florida or look like Florida State over a Washington, because it's Clemson and they got money in the bank, dog. It's the reason why Alabama
history will tell you that Florida State's a better overall program than Clemson is.
True. But we're talking about college football playoff era. They don't,
I'm with you there. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm telling you is I feel like Florida State would probably get the nod. I do.
Over Washington. I got you.
Let me pose this question. I
don't think they should. I think that they might.
They have a play-in game.
Alabama.
Bad.
We at the end of the season, SEC championship. Alabama beats Georgia. We both have 1 loss. Do we send 2 teams?
If all conference champions got 1 loss?
Well, I didn't even take into consideration of where any of the other conferences. I'm just talking about what we take from the SEC.
Well,
if Georgia has 1 loss in the SEC championship to Bama, who will probably be a top 10 ranked team at the end of the year.
I think so, because they're going to
Bama get the nod or Georgia get the nod.
They both go. I think they both go.
I think it depends. Like if you got an undefeated Oklahoma, undefeated Florida State, undefeated Washington, and an undefeated Michigan and or Ohio State or Penn State, you got 4 undefeated conference champions.
They're gonna knock up.
Yeah, I don't see any of that.
I don't either. I'm just saying setting the tone, setting the stage. I don't think Georgia gets in because we're not a conference champion.
There ain't no damn way because
I think we should
for 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's a good story. Hey, Jason, it's a great story, but they've been talking about how bad our schedule is all year. We go 12-0, and then we lose in the biggest game of the season. They're gonna be like, "I told you so." And we got
roll up on the committee. Holy shit!
Now, when you talk about money, and Georgia.
So y'all saying we got? So you talking about money in the bank? So y'all saying we can take a loss? I mean, that loss would have to be in the SEC championship to a Bama.
Well,
so we can take a loss.
Whole thing. You can take a loss and win the whole thing in the regular season, but if you take a loss in the SEC championship game, I think you're clean.
We're gonna be like at number 5.
I think this is what I say. This is what me and Stat say. Whoever wants in the playoffs this year, the number's 12. You got to win 12 games. You either got to go 12-0 and make it to your conference championship, or you got to go 11-1 and win your conference championship. Either way, you got to every year. 12. Alabama did it with 11-1 twice.
Yeah, I'm saying they're about every year. They're about the formula period.
What I'm just saying, I don't think this year an 11-1 non-conference conference championship participant getting in, where Alabama has actually done that before, though.
So you saying that so we can lose 1 game? You saying we can lose if we lose 1 game but don't win the conference championship? We're not getting.
I'm saying there's a chance we do because then we would have 12 wins.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We go 12-0.
If you go 12-0 and lose to Bama, I think both you go.
What I'm saying is we're not going to have a 2017 situation where Alabama doesn't play in the SEC championship and they're 11-1, and then last year Ohio State doesn't play in the Big Ten. That's not happening this year. I think you need 12. I think you need 12 wins. However you get it, 12-0 with a loss in the championship, or 11-1 with a win in the conference.
Which is why the Big Ten isn't going to get. They're talking about those 3 teams that are going to vie for it, and they may get 2. There ain't no damn way the Big Ten gets 2 in there. No way.
Nope.
It's gonna be some folk left. It's gonna be a lot of shit got to shake out.
This is the year.
The playoffs already started, man.
This is the year that it's gonna look the most funky. I'm telling you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's got to be a lot of shit that play out because there's so many different variables in terms of because
Well,
when you're looking at the Pac-12 schedule,
The playoffs
we've
done
talked
started,
about
bro.
all year how they're going
I'm
to kind of
gonna tell you how I'm
themselves.
gonna tell you how I can get real crazy. Everybody 11-1 going into the conference championship. Texas,
And that's more likely to happen.
The most likely to happen.
like let's
Yeah.
just say again, like we see teams like Georgia lose to Ole Miss, Oklahoma loses to BYU, Washington loses to Oregon State, Michigan and Penn State and Ohio State all beat each other. That's one
They
loss.
got to play each other anyway. Yes,
All one loss, yeah.
Mhm.
And everybody's a one loss. Florida State don't have to play North Carolina, but Florida State still got to play Miami and Florida. Like I'm just saying, Florida gave them a good game last year.
Clemson's probably going to beat North Carolina just because they will.
So you got all 10 participants in the conference championship all got one loss, dog.
They're more likely to happen than not, to be honest.
You talking about chaos? That's some chaos, dog.
But still, though, at the end of the day, somebody's
Here's the
gonna get shitted on. Like
And
everybody
here's the
can't. It
way
just
that
ain't
I
enough
thought.
slot.
If Oklahoma goes and loses like to BYU, right, and they say somehow Jalen Daniels comes back and they lose that game at Kansas, right, and then they still beat Texas in the title game, they're out. I think they got to.
You don't think you make it?
Have to be undefeated
I think it depends.
And here's why: because of the narrative that's been out there about this freaking. Look at how Coach acted last night about the damn schedule.
But this is what I'll say to that scenario right there. Let's say Jalen Daniels come back. He's dynamic and all that. Y'all lose by 7, but then you go on to whatever, and then you go on to beat a Texas team whose only loss is you, which means they're going to be highly ranked. So they could look at that as when you played the 2 times you needed to. You showed up and you had a blip on your schedule.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
That's what I'm telling you. Get crazy like that, dog.
I think that the biggest problem has been for Oklahoma is that narrative is. I mean, you hear Brandon Walker talking about it. You hear everybody talking about, and these are guys that whether or not you believe in Brandon Walker, because I don't.
Yeah, no.
But these are people that people hear.
Yeah.
And so it's even Josh Pate, and Josh Pate is powerful in the game right now. True. And he's talked about it too. And I don't think that every one of all these pundits out there have said how Oklahoma's not going to beat Texas again, number one. But number two, they've played the worst schedule ever, that people calling them fake, all kinds of shit like that. And if that gets around to enough places, because it will, especially if they lose to a team like Kansas, who isn't really in contention anymore for the conference title. Neither is BYU.
Jason, the issue is going to be about where other one-loss team you're going to have to, be up against.
Be up against because
if somebody else undefeated, then it only makes sense for you not to make it. But if it's another one-loss team, you could get in.
That's what I'm saying, dog. I'm like, think about this. What if Florida State loses to Miami?
Florida State has a win over LSU. Florida State has a win over Clemson.
Hold on. Your two Texas wins is better than the Clemson win for Florida State, and they're because of Clemson got 2 losses out. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might take another one, but we'll just say they don't. I think so.
Now the more losses the team take, that hurt their strength of schedule.
It goes back to what you and I talked about, Jason. You actually, for your chances to get in the playoffs, you want Texas, even though you beat them, you want them to be.
You want them to win. Yeah, you want them to win. They
beat them again when they're in the top 5 to 6 at the end of the year.
Exactly.
I agree. I think but that's why I've said that they need to go undefeated either way. I just feel like it's almost an undefeated deal that you got to do it.
I think if, like Sean said, if you're dealing with other undefeated conference champions, then yes. But if you're dealing with some one loss outside of the Pac-12, nobody can actually point to more than like 1 or 2 wins. Like, oh yeah, we did this right here. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Like from Georgia's perspective, we'll be able to say, let's say we lose to Ole Miss, but then we beat Tennessee at Tennessee and we beat Alabama. We'll be able to point to Tennessee and Alabama. That's it. I mean, I think we're in because for one, it's SEC. It goes to the money. Also, they're not going to if everybody got 1 loss and Georgia's the SEC champion and they're 1 loss, the SEC champion is getting in. That's
SEC champion going, period. As long as you ain't got 2 losses.
That's what I always say that. I always say undefeated,
and
one loss, SEC getting in, somebody getting shitted on. That's just what it is.
somebody's gonna get shit on anyway, and that's why they're gonna be so glad about the top 12 going next year. Which it'll
Yeah.
just be
Still ain't gonna change the champion.
Yeah.
though.
Still gonna say
Money,
you
money,
got shit on
money,
it.
money, money.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
money, money, money. Like I would love to see that this year, bro. Like
I don't
I
want to see
can
us
put
lose.
together some matchups now that I would love.
I think
to
it's as
see.
wide open as it's ever. That's the
It
point
is.
I was trying to make last night too. Whenever it all blew up with Coach, I think it's as wide open as it's ever been when it comes to the number of teams that could win the national championship this year.
I think when
If
you
they
talking
got-
about
if they got
talent,
hot.
when you
Yeah.
talking about talent and X's and O's and coaching, I do think it's wide open. When you factor in all the else things, I think it slims down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think some teams and this was my point last night. Like that's why I say Washington to me would need to get us in the first round, and I knew that was going to be a problem, for TCU when they didn't get us in the first round. Even though I thought we would have beat them, but I thought their best chance, and I'd say the same thing about Ohio State. Ohio State plays TCU first round and then plays us second round in the championship. I don't think it's as close. I think we beat them by at least 10. That's just
Listen, this what I'm gonna say right here too, Coach. We have to, we have to give Ohio State a little bit more credit.
I
They had a hell of a roster. They had two
They got to have
first round
they
talent.
have a hell of a roster.
The first round, they had a first round quarter. I mean, like
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
had
top five
special
quarterback.
players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wide
Because
receiver.
I go back to prep time. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If they could play defense,
I don't care who we play in the first round. They're gonna have with the amount of time you give Kirby to prep, it's gonna be hard. You got a better chance beating us in the regular season than you do in the playoffs.
What I said that too. I said, well, the problem is if you let us into the playoffs, then do I think we win?
Right.
how many guys are going to be able to match X's and O's with you in a week?
And people underestimate having been there. They
True.
underestimate that.
Okay.
TCU got caught in them bright lights, bro. Like I'm not saying that we wasn't better than TCU.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
roster problem too.
They had a roster problem, but they was also caught in the bright lights, and I feel like that happens.
Yeah,
And
but their roster was never going to allow them to touch you.
You can't take a dog
True.
bite, man. You can't bite.
hey,
Bite.
but I'm just saying, hey man, they beat Michigan had a better roster than them too, and they
Yeah, but Michigan
They
also
handled
has a gag reflex that isn't even real, man. Come on, man.
That's what I'm.
So-
you just talked about what I'm talking about. The mental, like I feel like Kirby can get his team ready more so than probably anybody other than Nick Saban.
Okay,
So
but
that
what about
plays a
Venables
factor.
in that situation too, because of the fact of what he's done with those defenses at Clemson, having to deal with Kirby and those guys, and all those dudes at Alabama. They played Alabama every year for 4 years in the freaking playoff, right?
They did, and I
They've
think
been
Brent
in the bright
Venables. I think Brent Venables would be ready. What I'm getting to is it's not like I think Kirby can get our guys ready. The thing is, I talked about it earlier right before you hopped on. Our guys have been there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it may be a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying? It's like it goes like it was prime example on display for everybody to see in the Tennessee game last year. Tennessee was ranked number 1 in the college football playoff. They're getting all this hype. They hadn't been there in like 20 years.
Right.
We
They
just
won the
came
game
out.
against
We just came
Alabama
out.
at home
Yeah.
and barely, but they hadn't had to deal with that. What I would having played, but the Red River game, that's a huge game, especially when they were both undefeated.
Listen,
so had to have played in that twice.
It's
and
a
all
huge
eyes
game.
being on you, you will have been in a situation that's very.
But
It's almost like a playoff game at that point. I feel
kind of
Good
like
game.
this is the thing. If you lose the Red River, do we think you got a chance to get in? Me and you agree. We don't think you got a chance to get in. But
Correct.
that's us.
But Texas does.
The percentages are slim, right?
Yeah.
When you're on the line in the playoffs, it ain't no slim chance that you go on. It's you either win or you go home. And
True.
some people rise to the occasion. It's not a like Georgia playing Florida. It's a God, man. We need this game, so we ain't out the playoffs, but there's still an avenue for us to get to the playoffs. When you play in the first round of the playoffs, there ain't no avenue for you to go nowhere if you don't win. Like it's win or go home, and some people can't respond to that. I'm not saying
Right.
Oklahoma wouldn't.
Well, it did the whole prep time, the whole week of preparation.
They will have done it in the championship game also, and in the Red River, and those are two of the biggest stages aside from the playoff. I get the playoff is going to be different, but when you have that experience in the coaching staff, which they do,
I think that's what happened to Michigan 2 years in a row. They had this team, like Michigan. Whether we think the Big Ten is good or not, they was good. Dog.
State. I think that's all they did was just to beat Ohio State.
But they beat one of the best rosters in college football. But they got to the big stage.
But think about
blamed out. They put all the emotion and energy into that.
Soft, man. Where dude, Michigan is gonna drag you around and like as good as they. I mean, look, they can do that to Ohio State, but they weren't able to do that to you guys. They can't go in there and play that same trying to run over your ass kind of deal with Georgia, right?
True, which is why I thought they would beat TCU because I thought they should be able to we manhandled TCU. That's all that ended up. We manhandled TCU.
But man, TCU came out with a 3-3-5 against you guys. That was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, listen, Jason.
Everybody want to play that.
Listen, you're right. I totally agree, Jason. But let's be real. We all Georgia guys, but are we saying that Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards aren't better than Kenny McIntosh and Kendall Minton or whoever we put out there? Because I'm saying they're better as running backs.
They are.
But again, it goes to a mindset. Like I remember when we was losing Missouri and people didn't even pay attention to it last year. Kenny McIntosh was staying loose on the field on one of the exercise bikes, and they panned over to him. He was laughing. He was like, "They really think they're gonna beat us tonight." I don't know what's wrong with them. It's a mindset, dog.
I get that part.
But X's and O's, I think it's a lot of
beat the mystique of the dogs. You got to beat that first. You got to know that you can. Look, and here's a
buttholes get tight.
You ain't got nothing to lose because you ain't supposed to win either.
But they go back to the question I was asking Pi earlier. Like, is that
you can play?
Does that have something? Because the other side of the coin is like, are we getting up for these games? Like, why are we playing with our food? So
that's
like, why aren't we just coming out being full ass? Is it we're not as good as we think we are or should be, or we're just not really getting up for these games? Or is it just about the parent? Okay.
No, I think it's half. I think it's a little bit of the first two. Like we talked about, we don't have a Jalen Carter, and I said this in the off season. I said that we would have a good front seven, but we wouldn't have a dominant front seven where we're moving the line of scrimmage. But I also think it's these guys. Literally, there's some of the guys. We can listen to all the speeches and stuff from Kirby and the interviews. There's some guys on this team that literally think they about to put that G on and that mean a dub. That's all they think. They're like, man, let's just put this G on. We're gonna get this dub. And then,
listen, they've been eating that same sandwich. They've been eating that undefeated sandwich. They don't know what it tastes like to lose. Don't say like,
here comes the sandwich.
Listen though. I don't want it to bite us in the ass. I really don't. But it's just like a kid, dog. It's like you know, it's almost like you keep telling them, hey, if you keep touching the stove, I know it ain't on right now, but you eventually gonna get burnt.
To get burnt. Yep.
Get burnt.
And it's
hard. Take one time.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say, okay, change what you're doing because they still, as bad as we, might think they playing or whatever, they still winning. So they like, man, I
also don't think they're playing as bad as people think.
I think like our level, our standard, Kirby's standard is here. Georgia's playing here, but I think most of college football is still playing down here.
Remember what you said though? Who was it that was talking about the best thing? If he wins this, especially, but it's already this way. There ain't a freaking thing that you can do aside from scoring 100 points that's going to make anybody happy.
No, exactly. Like if we come out and beat Florida.
Oh, didn't I tell y'all what Barbara Dooley said?
That's what
I think I said it on somebody's show.
If he might as well.
If he win another national championship, the best thing for him to do.
It's already like
retire.
That. It's already like
that. It really is. It
really is because even if they win it, they're going to start comparing them against the first two teams, and they're never going to be the same.
But God, that's what I be telling y'all about the sandwich. Like you build it when you get to a certain once you taste it, it's hard to go back.
But some some fans just ain't never said.
No, we don't got bougie folks. Listen, we talked about it on the show. We don't move the goalposts. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't got bougie.
Everybody does it, and it's hard not to do it. It's hard not to do it.
Mignon, not sandwiches.
Listen, not for nothing. Like, you have to tell right now, coming off a 6-7 season, Oklahoma undefeated, and there's still some Oklahoma fans that are asking for Jackson Arnold. Dylan Gabriel balling out of control.
Whatever, right? Yeah.
Because they ain't never satisfied.
Hey, Cole, let me tell you this. Oklahoma went 6-7.
I don't want to hear that shit. There will be no straight in Jackson.
You see Jason up here, coach. Oklahoma went 6-7 last year. Let's say they go 13-2 this year. Let their go 6-7 the next year.
But
he'll know about that sandwich I'm talking about.
I don't even think it take that. I think it'll take them not being top 4 in offense, not being top.
There you go. Any of that. That's what I'm saying. Because the sandwich is gonna be different.
Jason, don't you deal with that with some Oklahoma fan? Like, it didn't look like this. It didn't look like that. Like I'm just telling you, man. Again,
and here's why. Because they're used to that PlayStation offense and those quarterbacks that have run those PlayStation offenses for the last almost 10 years that Lincoln was either the OC or the head coach. The difference is, and so I was saying this to USCJ. He's not getting it, but
I saw him today too. He had a show today.
He's tripping, man. Dude,
you should have seen the one Saturday though. Saturday, bro.
And I'm trying to give him love. I'm trying to give him love and tell him, look, man, it's what you got to understand is I'm not saying it's just the offense. I'm saying it's not just the defense. It's everything.
Saturday, what?
Because this is what you're seeing.
You saying it's the head guy. It started from the top.
Absolutely. It starts at the top. It goes down.
It's the same pattern. It's the same song.
Strength and conditioning. The fact that they don't do shit with the freaking special teams. They don't care about it. They just run them out there and try something on a whim, and it doesn't work out.
I think
they gave up a kick return touchdown last week.
Lincoln Riley's ego is his biggest problem.
Damn right it is. And Jay don't.
Did y'all hear the NFL rumors?
Jay don't want to hear that shit. Understandably, Jay don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Caleb was asking for teams to give him
percentage of. That's stupid, bro. Like y'all ain't did your research. You can't even do that in the NFL, bro.
Yeah, it's not. It's against the rules. You can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your team ain't even did no research. Like they had. You trying to. I almost said something. You're trying to mess up your draft status, real, bro.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, Shawty. The first time I read that on Twitter, I said he is really not to be the number 1 pick. He is really trying to. He's saying that as a part of getting drafted, he wants to have part ownership of the team.
You can run Colin Kaepernick off. You can run off anybody.
Listen, part ownership.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, Caleb is the best quarterback in college football as it stands for a lot.
I don't even know that though, coach.
That's what I'm saying. I said as it stands for a lot.
I heard the last part. I got
you. Yeah. Bro,
he's trying to say
shit
in the NFL. Yeah, they don't care about him.
Draft class, dog. This draft class is QB heavy. They would likely just pass over your ass for 2-3 rounds until you figure it out.
But guess what? But see, he already knows.
Man, them owners ain't going for that shit, bro.
So much money, coach.
Landry Jones was going to go number 1 if he'd have left after his junior year. He stays another year. He doesn't go to the 4th round.
What's up, Pat?
He making so much money. Like even if he didn't get drafted this year, he still got potentially to make $5 million in the NIL.
True, but if he wants, this whole, part owner, he ain't gonna change that tune next year. That's not a good move business wise.
I don't think he's part ownership, but I think what he's trying to do is
I think he's sabotaging himself
to stay another year. I think he's trying to give himself a reason to stay another. I don't think he wants anything to do with
the his I want to say his dad or whoever his male figure is like he doesn't want to go number 1 because he doesn't want to go to the worst team. Guess what? It don't matter what year you come out. The NFL literally gives number 1 to the worst team.
It's a reason why you get the number 1 pick.
But they have leverage enough as a quarterback. You got enough leverage that you're going to make enough money to hang out and not because sometimes you have a bad season and you could get a number 1 pick. But
I tell you what, you better have no more.
But you have a better organization than Cleveland, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying?
Don't go to
Cleveland is
Cleveland.
a dumpster fire.
True.
Don't
True.
go to Cleveland.
I'm just saying, you like if you continue to be Caleb Williams, who we've seen for 2.5 years now, you're always gonna be the number one pick. Or the top or the number 2 pick, which means you're gonna go to a bad situation. You may not go to bad guys, but you go into a bad situation. That's literally what the NFL does, though. Like
Cleveland
I just think that the Cardinals are similar to Cleveland, is what I was getting at. I think he's worried about if it's the Cardinals, he wouldn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, Cleveland a quarterback killer.
Cardinals. That's Cliff Kingsbury. Okay, Cardinals. That's still Cliff Kingsbury.
No, he's with Lincoln now.
Oh yeah, that is right. All right, man. Don't get me to line. I don't watch a lot of NFL.
He was the OC or the DC at for Philly last year.
Oh, okay. I forget his
name, but he was.
I watch NFL occasionally. I'm just saying, like, I think y'all on to something. I think he's trying to sabotage his own draft status.
I think he just doesn't want to go this year. I just don't think he wants to go
stay in
this
school. What you think?
Listen, it's no way someone. At least I'm just thinking logical. It's no way that someone of that caliber, who's a potential top 3-5 pick, has not looked into NFL antitrust laws and his lawyers or somebody know that. You just can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't even. Like, in no way.
Let's just forget the fact that they won't do it. Like, them NFL owners are tight, bro. Like, they ain't coming up off that.
Call Charlie Ward.
Oh, listen, it wouldn't be no NFL. All the shares would be to players. You know how many a number 1 pick come out every year.
Let me ask you a question though.
Hey, but guess what? Oh, go ahead.
Did you think that Deshaun Watson was going to be the first to get 230 million freaking guaranteed dollars with everything that was on his head?
From Cleveland.
hey, that's a lot of money, but that ain't ownership. This is the thing. It ain't even about the money. I'm talking about
that ownership, that loan money.
Listen, man,
you can't set that kind of. You can't set that precedent, man.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Jason. We've been cool enough for I can say this, dog. Listen, in the NFL,
I already know what you're about to say.
Them old white men ain't giving Caleb, this young black dude, no ownership of their team.
No damn way.
Bro, listen, they ain't giving that to no. Listen, they ain't giving that to nobody. That's a certain club. And they ain't even talking about race. They're just a certain club.
You can't even get into the league.
That's what Mark Cuban talked about it. Mark Cuban said he tried to get ownership in one of the Texas
ain't white enough. He ain't
and
white
they
enough.
said it's like a we've been in this club this long and we ain't nobody in, dog.
Yeah, what I'm getting at. It ain't even got nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with race. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you ain't part of that club, they ain't getting no new members. That's what I'm telling you. They ain't getting no new members.
No members allowed.
The new members that they get already gonna be thought of and gonna be approved and pick. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no new members coming in.
It's also because somebody died and lead a state.
Yeah.
Guys, but here's the thing. I've been doing the Hall of Fame campaign for Otis Taylor for the last few years. And Otis is one of the best receivers to ever play football. But because he came in and went to the AFL first, and it was during the merger year, the first year of the merger, it was 66 was the first year of the merger. He was the best football. He's one of the top 3 all time. They just didn't throw the ball around, but that's not even the real excuse. It's because because he pissed on the Cowboys and went to Kansas City. They're never, ever, ever going to let him be in the league.
Good old boy club.
Absolutely. They're never going to let him get. Look. I keep thinking maybe we're going to get him in, and then there's times that I think we're not. But I've been this freaking close. But 40 years, he was this dude put up 1,100 yards twice in a time that the only person that ever did was Lance Allworth, right? He put 1,100 up twice, and they were on 57 catches both times. Unfreaking believable, right? 57 grabs. In that year that he did his biggest year, he averaged like 23 a catch. And for his career, he averaged 17 and a half. He
God.
Hey man,
He ain't
It's
even,
just it's very simple. You can't
it's
give
an old boy
prisoners
club.
keys
It's a
to
club,
the to
bro.
the
it's a
to the
club.
You can't
same. You
let
know,
the,
what I'm saying? You
you can't
can't
let the
give all
NBA.
prisoners. You
You
just
can't let
can't
the
do it.
NBA
It's
I
just,
run
hate
the
the
asylum,
NFL.
dog.
Because of
yeah.
that, I'm a Niner fan, and I used to love the NFL. I can't freaking stand the NFL anymore
Hey,
because of
dog.
that.
But listen,
Because they're going
the
through these.
revenue already split. What is it? 49? Is it 50 revenue? I think NFL might be 50
51-50, I
revenue and
think.
player.
Yeah, yeah.
51,
But you
49, I
have to
thought.
do that though. You have to
Yeah,
do
Right,
that.
but I'm saying the revenue already split. You think I'm finna give you ownership to
That's
play
what
ball?
that's why I say it ain't about the money. It's about ownership,
Even
dog.
Patrick
It's
They,
just
Mahomes.
principality.
Patrick Mahomes could go buy into the Major League Baseball, but he ain't buying into the NFL.
you better
Right.
go.
I don't
You
give a damn
better,
how much money he got.
you better go get you minority ownership in one of these NBA teams. NFL
Listen,
ain't giving it
folks.
up.
Listen, folks. Tom Brady just
USFL
retired.
or something.
He is the greatest of all fucking time.
And
You
he can't.
don't think if he could have had some ownership, he would have it?
Who?
They don't play
Tom
that.
Brady.
No, they're not gonna let you in.
They
Minority
Tom
ownership,
Brady. I
maybe.
thought he had a look.
But as
Tom Brady.
as a player that's in, no.
He got some stuff in the Raiders, I think.
I think he does. Have
Now he may have now because he's no longer a player.
player.
Right.
That's what.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You got.
Oh, you talking about as they would? Nah, ain't nobody getting
Right.
nobody playing. Nah.
well, it's like they, but I mean, they're not gonna
But
let you.
like you say, maybe he just. But this is my thing with NIL and stuff. You ain't got to sabotage it. If you like, Pot say he might be trying to come back another year. Just say you coming back another year.
I
You
think
ain't
that's
got to
what it
come
is.
out and say stupid stuff that's gonna hurt your draft stock when you do come out.
Yeah, because
he
here's the
needs to
thing. It's
do-
like I said with Cap. Colin Kaepernick was I mean, dude was beating all the best quarterbacks in the league, beating them all.
Hey, once you start doing some stuff they don't like, they
When
don't
you
care how
start
many
doing some
games you win.
stupid
Hey,
shit like
what he
that,
need
they
to do is
made a
gonna
big.
ask one of his
He
NIL
went
deals
down
for
on
some
that
damn
knee,
stock.
and he's the one dude that went up on the cross for it. But he did.
Listen, if
Y'all
Caleb,
shoot pool, they call it blackball.
On the pocket, side pocket, whatever you want.
Yes, sir.
hey, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, don't go out here and make publicity mistakes that'll hurt your future money, dog. That's all I'm saying.
I
Like,
would
and
ask
that's,
one of my
Mhm.
NIL deals for some stock. If you want some stock, I would
Hey,
ask the NFL for no stock.
guy, I want to ask y'all. I'm gonna add this last question. I got to get out here before I get
I
late.
agree.
I want to ask. I just want to add this one last question, and y'all may have done on the other show or not. I don't know. Give me your top 4 playoff best matchups that you want to see.
ooh,
Mm.
ooh,
Definitely
playoff.
Washington, Oklahoma is one of them
Yeah.
For sure.
for me.
For sure. Washington, Oklahoma is one, but I want to see North Carolina. I say I would like to see North Carolina more than Florida State. I like the way they play. I think Hartman, not Hartman, but Drake May
Drake May
is better than Jordan Travis.
by a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see them in like a Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd like to see that. I actually want to see this team, Georgia, and either against Washington. I want to see where we stack up though. Like
I don't want to get. I'm with you. I just don't.
you talking about like you talking about like winning? Oh, winning? Then I don't.
No, not winning. No, just give me what top 4 teams you would like to see in the playoff and what matchup. Just your own.
Oh, okay. So
it could be a team that don't even make it. Just what matchup you
Oh,
want to see.
okay. So the 4 teams I would like to see in it is Georgia, Penn State.
Playing against Penn State.
No. All right. Let me hold on. Let me tell you. Like Washington, Georgia, Penn State, and my 4th one is hard. Like it's either Oklahoma or North Carolina. I don't know.
So you have Georgia playing Oklahoma or North Carolina, and you have Penn State playing who?
So Penn State playing Washington.
Okay.
That's what I like to see.
I think Washington beat shit out Penn State first.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I don't know about like handily, but I think they'll win. Penn State got to get.
I think that's a bad match.
It could be. It could be.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see nobody like. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but like people who go like teams who got a great shot at beating a team like Washington. Gonna be like Oklahoma, Georgia.
That's it.
And well, just I'm just talking about in terms of styles. Yeah.
What,
I got one
defense?
for you because this is if I had my favorite, I would have Oregon State in there. I think it'd be a great story for DJU to take another team to the playoff.
I'm
And
gonna
to beat
leave-
who?
I want them to
Oregon
play
State.
So he
Clemson.
talking about for the
I want them to play
storyline.
Clemson.
He like
I want them
Oh
to play
yeah, I
Clemson.
know.
Storyline.
I
Yeah.
want them to,
Oh, okay.
like when I
And he's
came
been playing his ass off.
into the year, I wanted to see USC play Oklahoma in a bowl game.
Oh God, I would love that one.
And I wanted Oregon State to play
Oklahoma would beat the shit out of you. I hate
Hey,
to say
and
that.
I wanted Oregon
That's
State.
why I can't wait
play
to see
Clemson.
it.
I wanted Oregon State to play Clemson so DJU could get some get back on Clemson because
I like that.
they kind of boo booed on him the whole time he was
Yeah, I
there.
like that. I like
Still
that.
are. And they
Yeah, I
still
like
are.
that, man.
And that's why I think that they're still in the running for this thing.
Yeah.
They get to play Washington.
Yeah.
If they beat Washington in the regular season, they're going to probably get another shot at them.
Yeah,
If they would
I
have to
don't
beat
think they're
Oregon.
good enough to beat Washington.
I don't know that they're not, man.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they're
He got a
They
good
lost
four
one.
right here. You can't deny this right here. I got Georgia,
Okay.
Washington,
Okay.
Oklahoma,
Okay.
and Michigan.
Who you want to see play each other in the first round?
Number one gonna play 4, so Georgia gonna play Michigan. 2 gonna play 3.
I got you.
Yeah,
I don't,
Washington and
I don't
Oklahoma.
mind that
Washington.
matchup, Shawty. I don't mind that matchup.
no, I think he's playing out of strength. I just don't want to play Michigan no more. I just want
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
man,
play
bring it on, bro.
I want to play different. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was saying, I think it's going to be OU, UGA, Penn State, and then I think.
So
it's
y'all really
probably-
like Penn State like that?
Would I like it? Yeah, I do. Like I like. They've got as good a
wow. I
defense
heard
as
Penn State
anybody. in the
twice.
country.
I think they got a good defense and they got a good quarterback, but they also got something that none of the other teams, as far as on the same level. I'm not saying that Georgia's not good at running, that Oklahoma's not good at running, that Washington's not good at running, but their 2 running backs could be
Are nasty good.
the 2
Yeah.
best in the nation.
This is a different year. I know this is a different year. I
They
just want
better
to throw
be
this out
freaking
there.
OSU because if they
Do you
don't,
know Penn State has a losing record against Michigan State? Franklin got the losing record against Michigan State, Ohio State, and Michigan. Like everybody he's supposed to beat, he don't beat.
That's why I want to see it.
Okay.
That's why I want to see it.
No,
I told the
no,
dude when I did the
I
preview, I
love
said if it ain't
Oregon
this
State
year,
in there, but I think it's Washington.
yeah, I told the Penn State dude, if it ain't this year, then
They
James
never-
Frank, they need to start pulling them Mark Rick. They need to start, hey man, what's up?
They just paid him again. They just
No,
paid him.
no,
again.
I'm telling y'all about this sandwich, man.
I'm just saying, I know, Jason, they just paid him, but listen, I'm gonna tell you like I tell people when it comes to spending time with somebody or spending money on something. You spend money on what you want to spend money on, and you spend time on what you want to spend time on. So if Penn State, they'll get them, they'll find that money.
And look, Coach, and that what I be talking about, Coach. That go back to my point too, and I'm gonna say this before I let y'all get out of here. Look, ain't no excuse when a motherfucker like Duke doing what they doing.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind seeing Duke in the playoffs, man.
What,
See that I be talking about? That what I be talking about, Coach. Look, and they're a basketball school, Coach.
Stand Duke, but I would love that too, just to piss.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, Jason. To break
That
the
would be
norm,
funny.
dog.
Have a
To break
playoff.
the
You got
norm.
Notre
To
Dame.
piss
Duke,
everybody
That-
right off. They would.
That's what I'm getting at.
New rules to make sure that shit never happened again.
Listen, so if I'm Duke, if Duke can do it, why I can't do it if motherfucking Duke can do it?
That's right.
Come on, Coach.
Hey, before we get out of here, man, I want to give a
Okay,
shout out
man.
to my little cousin, man. The boy Dejon Edwards. I
Hey,
say you
shout
my
out-
cousin for the simple fact.
Oh, that's your cousin. That's your cousin. Show no.
Let me tell you why I say that, because he's from Moultrie,
Oh,
Georgia.
you talking shit.
Oh,
He's from
okay.
Moultrie, Georgia, see, and my grandmama from Moultrie, Georgia. That's where all my family from. And
Oh, but that don't mean y'all cousins.
Look, I guarantee you. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, because our last name different. I bet you we got some of the same blood in there somewhere. Do a 23 and me,
I ain't
baby. Shout out to my boy
saying
Edwards, man. 20
That
carries, 146, and a touchdown.
Hey man, I feel like it's only right, man. You know, I don't have the viewers y'all guys got, but man, Coach and Jason, we'll go to Jason first, man. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
Hey man, you can find me at CFB-pod right here on YouTube, and you know, yeah. So Coach I, and then they be hanging out. And hey, Park, anytime you want to come over, man, make sure you roll in and hang out with us too, man. You're welcome to the show anytime you like. But yeah, listen, find us there, and then obviously I'm always talking shit on Twitter at JW_HOF. So yeah, check us out.
Man, y'all know y'all can get me on the Fan Addict Sports, man, everywhere. IG, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course every Tuesday me and Shorty on the respective
I
hedges.
got my toothbrush over at his place. So.
Yeah, and I'm over at Jason's a lot. So
Hey, Coach Pop, before I let you do your little thing, Pop, let me because I think I mentioned this too. I was trying to mention to someone. Are we locked in for Creature Conference homecoming Friday? 'Cause I
not
got it in my calendar.
no, not Creature Comfort,
Yeah.
but we supposed to be doing the podcast on Saturday, like when y'all go to the. Remember what we talked about? You
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
had it in my calendar. I need to get it.
That was the initial plan, but once they flamed out on us, yeah.
Okay.
So
What you got, Pop? You want to, you know what I'm saying? Anything you want to shout out to the people before
Yeah,
you get
man,
out there?
y'all hit the like, hit that subscribe. You can
Big
find me
facts.
at the Real AP. You understand me? At My Damn Opinion on YouTube every Wednesday. I'm out here on Hump Day, Big Mike. I'm also on Instagram at Yayo1 Chapo. You understand? Follow me. Press a
There it is.
What's
Canario.
up?
I'm out here breeding them Press Canarios. I'm out here.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate everybody who dropped in and tapped in, man. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate Coach at Jason, man. I see them a few times a week anyway, tapping in, checking in with me, man. We appreciate the conversation, man. At the end of the day, man, we just talking about ish. At the end of the day, it's just, you know what I'm saying, our own damn opinion, man. You know, they like assholes. Everybody got one. I
Everybody.
got one too. You know what I'm talking about? So with that being said, man, we'll be tapping back in next week, same bat time, same bat channel, man. We're gonna get up out here, man.
Shout out to Bucky.
Hey.
At least